It is 1 o'clock, so we'll go ahead and get started on our Public Works Committee meeting. I've got 6 project updates, and then Ricky has 2 Public Works updates for today. My first update is on the health clinic. It's moving right along as expected. This week they're doing insulation, and we'll get a final drywall inspection as well this week. And then on the schedule, once the drywall's done, on the schedule to start this week is the interior painting, which is really exciting. The hospital will come in and do their IT drops. Probably, I would think, starting next week on that one. And then I'm working with Jackie Fisher, the landlord for the building, and she is going to take care of the flooring in the building. So I put her, she asked if I would put her in touch with our general contractor, Joe Christensen Construction. So he's going to work with her to put a proposal together for the flooring. So everything is moving along there. Any questions from council?
No, I took a tour of it, I think it was last week, and it looks great.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, I was surprised so much was done.
South End Fire Station, we are expecting it to be moved from that area behind Moby Dick's, the modular there, to the South End Fire Station area the first week of October. The site is ready, the foundation is poured, the concrete is cured. So we're working with a vendor that takes it apart, hauls it, and puts it back together. And that's a matter of days for that part to happen. And then our contractor will go in and do all of the repairs that are needed for that. And that'll probably be another 3 to 4 weeks. He has it as like a 3-week schedule. I feel like that's a little fast and overachieving, but and then I'll be putting out a proposal for an exhaust system for the fire department to plug their exhaust into. Like, we have the Plymouth vent system here. It was one of the first projects that I did. And we'll be putting the same kind of system in there, which keeps the exhaust out of the station when they're working in there, coming and going. Cancer is the #1 cause of death for firefighters. So it's one of the things that we can do to help them stay healthy, keep that exhaust out of their lungs. And any questions from council on the fire station?
No, when do you expect the proposal for the exhaust system to come to us?
I have to write it, which should be pretty easy because it's just the same as what we had before. I would guess second meeting in October.
I'm just trying to figure out when the firefighters will be able to move in. Do we have an estimated?
By the end of the year is the best estimate I'm gonna
Okay.
give right now.
Okay,
Because I don't know what contractor schedules are for the flooring has to still be bid, and then the Plymouth vent systems.
okay, so end of the year, beginning of next year.
Yeah, and I should have a better update next meeting, because we'll be in October, so, yep. Fresh waterways treatment for 2025, it is complete, and Terry McNabb from Aquatechnics is going to be here today. I don't think he's here quite yet. And he's gonna do the post-treatment survey, and then once the post-treatment survey is done, he'll work on all of the reports, which will tell us how it went this year, what we can expect going into next year, how much of each chemical he used in each area to accomplish what he did. All of those things will come out in the reports. And I will give a recap at council for that when we have it. And then, and I'll do it here if we have it, you know, if this meeting happens next month before council, as soon as I have it, I'll get it out there. And then, we're gonna work with him as well. We're $15,000 underspent in that budget that was approved by council. So we've got funds left over so that he can come in the spring and use the Procolor treatment, that he's the only person in Washington state that is able to use it. So that was what we had talked about when we brought Aquatechnics on board to do the treatment, was that he's got this newer chemical that can be used in the springtime. You can get even ahead more for treatments.
Hey,
Anything from-
Becky. Becky,
Can hear you. Can you hear me?
oh, when is the Fresh Waterways Town Hall? And do you know what they're covering in that?
Yeah, yep, the Freshwater Waste Town Hall is, I don't know the date, I don't know if I have it in my calendar. It's in October, and it is going to cover Herrera and all of the work that they did for the cyanobacteria plan and funding options and sources for that. So that, yep, that'll be that one. Is it on the website yet, Nicole?
It is on the website. Yeah,
Okay.
it is, and I forgot my phone, so I don't have it.
Okay, when she finds it, we'll.
Oh, I was just curious which one I was going over first.
Oh,
While we're waiting.
Coastal Interpretive Center roof repair, that's going to council tomorrow. They've got about a 500 square foot area of their roof that has had a leak for quite some time that we found out about, and it's damaged the ceiling over one of the exhibits. And they popped the paint bubble, and so the drywall repairs will get done in the ceiling as well. And they also have a significant amount of bat guano.
Yes.
There are
Guano.
pictures in the agenda packets, and all of the insulation has to come out and will be put back in. So that's going to council, and cost for that, interestingly enough, we got an estimate from ServPro that was just to do the insulation for $63,000. And to do all of the repairs, low bid was $64,000. So, and then we got a bid late the next day, and that was $75,000. So I'm glad we did end up getting that other bid, and can show that we got a good price for this project compared to the 63 grand from ServPro. Any questions on that?
Mm.
Okay. And then the October 21st is the date for the Freshwater Waste Town Hall.
Same day as public safety.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's right after that. The convention center sign, if you haven't seen it yet, it's in, it looks great. The picture is really nice, and I think the colors are a lot brighter than the last one on the actual screen. So George is happy with it. He's happy with the programming training that he got and all of that. So that was a pretty short, cut and dry project there. Any questions on that one?
No, I saw the pictures of how rotted the support for the
Yeah,
sign was, so glad it did not come down on anyone before
Yeah.
we were able to replace it.
we were overdue for sure, so I'm glad that got done. Okay, southern erosion berm work. We had a discussion item at council on this a couple weeks ago. That project is going to start in the next 2 weeks. And funding, we're working with Department of Commerce for that. And we added to that grant request with Department of Commerce work to be done on Peninsula Court and Mariner Court. Those are Mariner Court, I know, has been in discussion with city council administration in the past, but Peninsula Court, at least for me, is newly popped up. So Marshall said, hey, let's just see if we can add these. And we're, Tim, I think like 99.9% sure we're gonna get that contract from Department of Commerce for that grant.
That was the word I got from her. I was hoping to get an email from her on Friday when I was out of the office, but I haven't seen anything yet, so I think maybe I'll touch base with her when I get back to the office.
That sounds like a good.
But it did sound super positive when I talked to her on Wednesday, so.
And then for the berm work, we're expecting it to take 3 weeks. And then going forward, the berm should be something that Public Works will be able to maintain. We have a cobble contract with Northwest Rock, and we'll be able to get the cobble and just do some placement. We are installing cameras, which is part of this grant as well. And there will be 2 cameras installed down at the berm. We're going to be able to see the wave action and what it does, how the berm is performing. And then also one is going to be pointed towards the west department, the DNR land that's there, because DNR hasn't done anything about their erosion issue, and their beach keeps getting bigger and their trees keep falling down and getting washed out to sea. So that area, we're going to be able to show them, hey, look, this is what's happening during king tides and these winter storms. So that's going to be a really good system down there to have those cameras up.
So is that a total of 3 cameras?
Two. Yeah, okay.
And that is all of my project updates. Does council have any questions about any other projects that we're working on or?
Okay.
So first thing is our, phosphorus, removal pilot filter that we're running in the water department. We're trialing a high basicity polymer injection with a pilot filter that's, essentially a scaled down version of our green sand filter. We're looking at what would be a feasible replacement option for our current polymer that we use in our water treatment process, for coagulation prior to the green sand filters. We've seen some good results and some that we're still trying to improve. We've been working back and forth with SCJ Alliance and Department of Health on maybe some changes that we could make to get the exact results that we're looking for. So we had some issues with material and we weren't able to run the pilot filter when we wanted to, so we really only have about 2 to 3 weeks of usable data. We had some issues along the way, so we'd get 1 or 2 days of runtime and then have to rewind a little bit and make a change to some of our inline processes. But we have those bugs sorted out and we just need to get a little bit more contact time for a real simulation. We're getting the phosphorus removal that we wanted with an average of 87%. But it's not performing how we want it to in respects to our day-to-day performance with color and iron and manganese removal. So we're working on that. I think maybe that we're tapping in the wrong spot right now. And we're just waiting for some feedback back from Department of Health and SCJ Alliance before we make those changes. So if there's any questions.
Yeah, you said initially that you weren't getting the results that you were looking for. What's the optimum of what you're looking for?
So what we're looking for is
Because you said 80% of the phosphorus.
yeah, so that is what we're looking for. But in respect to the manganese and iron removal of what we're getting right now with our current polymer, we'd like to be able to maintain that to where our iron and manganese are essentially being pulled out as effective as possible. And we weren't really getting that with this pilot filter. So we're thinking that maybe the where we're tapped on right now is right next, it's, you know, a foot away from our permanganate injection. So if we're tapped closer to a real life scenario where that permanganate has time to work, has contact time with the water, that it'll oxidize and help the iron and manganese be able to be pulled out of the water, essentially with this coagulant. Lisa?
I was just coughing, sorry.
Oh, sorry. And so next we have our wastewater fecal counts. We've had some issues in the past 3-4 years where they've increasingly gotten worse. We've been trying to figure out what the actual issue is with performance of our UV bank system. That was kind of what we thought the issue was. We installed our last bank to fully expand the UV system. We saw small improvements, but not necessarily what we were looking for. So we made some changes to the gate to that UV channel. And we started treating our waste brine from the water treatment plant because we saw a correlation in talking to Department of Ecology and Department of Health with however much water we made. About a week later, the wastewater treatment wasn't performing as high as it was prior to that spike in treatment. So usually the biggest ones were after the 4th of July and after any big major holiday in the summer. So with those adjustments, we've gotten our lowest fecal counts down from June. Our lowest was 29. July, our lowest was 3. August, our lowest, or August and September, our lowest was an equivalent 1. And our highest for August and September have been 3 and 2. So we're really happy with what that's doing and just kind of our test mock setup, I guess. And looking to actually get this engineered into our system for treatment, so. I think that was brought up at the last council meeting that someone had asked about, so I didn't know if you, Lisa, or oh geez, Diane had any questions about.
No, I don't think so, except that this looks like, well, I guess I do. So this looks like this will be a permanent change that you'll be able to incorporate.
Yeah, we'll be able to incorporate it permanently, but right now it's just set up temporarily to see if it was working or not, so we're looking at our chemical consumption and kind of how that's gonna be budgeted in the future and getting that put out to bid for supply.
So will this be an increase in the cost?
Yes, but it'll be split between water and wastewater chemical costs.
Anything else, Lisa? Anything else from you? Okay, well, that wraps up today's Public Works Committee meeting. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for the update.
Bye. Of course.